patron saint or something.
No, that is the pipe organ. This is. It was an altar where like 500 kilos of chiseled silver were used to build it. Yes, Brazilian silver as well. This is the Holy Sacrament altar, the chiseled silver altar.
This is the one that took about 100 years?
Yes, to be built, yes, by local silversmiths. We had always very well-known silversmiths in here, and goldsmiths as well. And still nowadays there's a kind of goldsmithery in here called filigree, still handmade. It's like a very detailed work in gold that can be also silver golded, that can be found in almost every goldsmithery shop in town, called filigree. So, and this altar, you know, it was all hidden with plaster in beginning of the 19th century. By the time that the sacristan of this church heard talking about the French army of Napoleon was almost invading the town in 1809, so he got very afraid, and he had the very clever idea of hiding the treasure with plaster. And when the French army came in here, could only find plaster on it, and thought that there was nothing in here interesting to take with, and went away without without really noticing that there was this treasure in here, beautiful. Where 500 kilos of chiseled silver were used to build it in here. So over there on the upper part of it, you can see they're represented like steps, the steps taking everyone to God, like the way up, so everyone if there's a sacrifice, will be able to reach God, will be there on the top of the stairway waiting for us. And there's a very fine work here with different colored Italian marble left in the 18th century by Italian artists. This is a kind of work you can still find in Lombardia in Italy, where above you can see San Pantaleon there represented. He was for a while the patron saint of the town. He had lived on the 4th century, and we kept him here for a long time his relics, you know, and so there was a big procession in order to take his relics here. And nowadays nobody knows who was Saint Pantaleon, because in the 19th century his relics were stolen, and nobody would come in here any longer to venerate him. Nowadays everybody thinks that Saint John the Baptist is the patron saint because he's the most venerated saint, but our patron saint is here, is the Virgin Mary of Vendôme. I was just speaking about a few moments ago, that normally is represented crowned as every statue of Virgin Mary, in order to remind us that she's the only Queen of Portugal from the 8th December 1640, because for a long time Portugal was governed by Spanish kings from 1580 to 1640, and afterwards we had managed to restore the independence and on the 8th December, the day of Virgin Mary, John IV was declared like the first king of Braganza family, and he said, today we have to thank Virgin Mary because she was always a good help for us to fight against the Castilians, so I'm going to give the Portuguese crown to her, and from now on the Portuguese kings have no more the right to have the crown. It belongs to her. She's the only queen. I'm consecrating Portugal to her. And this is the reason why you can normally see Virgin Mary always crowned like that. The frescoes you have seen in the main altar, they were also left in the 18th century by Niccolò Nasoni, the very famous Italian artist, and it was in here where took place the wedding of John I and Philip of Lancaster, in order to seal that alliance in between Portugal and England. So from here you can see the main nave from the 13th century, showing us a style of transition in between Romanesque and Gothic. The stone is granite, the only kind you can find in this part of the country, like in Galicia, like in Santiago.
Thank you.
You are welcome. The crossing, quite high, from the late 16th century, built during the Renaissance period, while the transept from the same time already looks really different, so it shows us a style of transition in between Renaissance and Mannerist style. You can find here the two doors. There are also two doors on the other side. Only one is is a real door. The one on the right side giving access to the sacristy. All the other are false, just to give the idea of symmetry, so characteristic of the Mannerism period. And so this cathedral, like all the other cathedrals, was dedicated to Virgin Mary of the Assumption. We could see represented on the painting over there. And still nowadays, there are many inhabitants of Porto coming here attending services during the week. Not so many, but on Sunday it is church and most of the faithful. I'm going to show you also the baptismal fount over there.